Again, mat, little mini band and ball if you have it. I'm gonna just put it at my spot now too. So welcome everyone to our online loft classes. Super exciting that we can still stay connected even though we are all staying at home. As always, you can put your camera on or off, whatever's most comfortable for you. Same thing with the playlist. We've sent out a recommended playlist that I like to use for my mat Pilates class, but if you prefer to listen to something else or just listen to my voice, you can also do that as well. Feel free to modify anything. Again, if you have the equipment or not, if you've got any aches, pains, injuries or not, feel free to make it work for you. Today we're gonna be starting standing though, and then we will move down to the mat from there. So you can step back, find a comfortable spot. You don't always have to go this way on your mat. If it makes more sense to face me the other way, that's fine too. We're just gonna start with some shoulder rolls, back and down. Take a few big breaths. And if you are playing the music, again, it doesn't have to go to the beat. It's just kind of background music for us today. Then one more like this. And I want you to take your fingertips, place them on your hip bones, and bring them in and down an inch from there. Take a big inhale, feel like the belly expands out. And then exhale, try to engage where those fingertips are without feeling like we're sucking in those core muscles. So big inhale and exhale, engage. We're gonna do one more like that. Big inhale and exhale, engage. So we're gonna leave that, but that's kind of where we wanna start those core muscle activations from. You're gonna take a big inhale, arms go up overhead, exhale down, and then brush them forward, inhale and exhale. So just alternating each direction here. Our Pilates classes are mind and body connection, so it does take a little bit of thinking sometimes for certain positions. So I want you to go a little bit slower through the motions than you might normally do in other classes, just so we can really understand and figure out where those movements are coming from. Good, next one, hold the arms up. I want you to reach the shoulders up to the ears and then draw them back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So we're just trying to lift up and down, activating through those lats and those shoulder blades. Good, one more like that. And then bring the arms down halfway. We're gonna rotate down and up. So internal and external rotation of the shoulder. If you're like me, it's a lot easier to go back than it is to go forward. Good, again, just waking up through the shoulders. So part of Pilates is also mobility. So we want to make sure that we're not just trying to strengthen, but we're also trying to move well in that range. Good, hold the arms forward, extend them out, turn the palms to face each other. Reach forward, draw the shoulder blades back. So we call this protraction and retraction, trying to activate through those upper back muscles. So anytime we get into anything that requires some shoulder stability, so some planks, tabletops, or push-ups, we want to feel like these muscles are really strong for us. Good, last one here. And then let the arms relax, roll the shoulders back, step yourself where you're comfortable to squat, and you're gonna take an inhale down, exhale up. Just moving on your own time. So just show from the side as well, those hips go back, chest tall, squeeze the glutes as we stand up. Good, again, on your own time here. Inhale down, exhale up. It's Friday, so just check in. If you've done some of the other online workouts this week, we just wanna know how our body's feeling, what we're working with today. Good, let's do two more like that. Last one. And relax. Good, roll the shoulders back, making sure the feet are parallel. Hands on the side of the glutes, we're just gonna step side to side, shifting our weight. So waking up through those side glute muscles, notice the whole body goes rather than lifting up just through the legs. Good, side to side. Awesome. Doesn't feel like much now, but we are stabilizing through that standing side. Good, let's go one more each way. And then I'm just gonna demo sideways. You're gonna take 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, hands on the low back, stepping forward and back. So as I do this, I'm probably gonna notice that my back gets a little bit of tension and pressure. Those are our multifidus muscles, so they're kind of the back half of those inner core muscles that we were feeling earlier. So when we're in planks and push-ups and tabletops, these are the muscles we have to use so we don't drop that belly button to the floor. Good, you can switch legs now. So noticing again, we're not really holding anything too much. We're just trying to go for some muscle activation here. Good. Noticing if one side gets a little bit more than it did on the other. Good, let's do one more. And then facing back so you can see me, hands on top of the head, pressing the head in the hands, ground through the feet, take an inhale. Exhale, rotate to the side. Inhale, back to center, switch other side. Exhale, twist, inhale, center. So notice my elbows stay wide, they don't lead the motion. It's a full torso twist. If it helps, put your hands where it's more comfortable somewhere else. Feel free to make that happen. So I want you to notice that your hips stay leveled here. We're just isolating from above that belly button. Good, keep this going on your own time. Notice if your chest is popping, keep those ribs down and connected. Good, let's do one more each side like that. And once you come back to your first side, we're gonna take an inhale, arc over now. Exhale, back up, switch. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, back up, switch. So think about growing taller and arcing over rather than just collapsing or shifting the other direction. So we're trying to get that nice long top side, even weight through the feet. So as I go over to one side, I'm pressing through the other foot to come back up top. Good, one more each way. Last one, and then relax. Roll the shoulders back and down. We're gonna turn to face sideways. I'm gonna keep my left foot forward and my right foot's going to come back. So we're going to lunge, inhale, arms up, exhale, stand up tall, arms down. Same side, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So noticing as I step, that front knee stays in line, I stand up tall. It's all about the weight in that front foot. Good, notice I have a slight tip forward of the chest, so I can really activate through that front glute. So I'm really pushing that foot in the floor here. Again, it is slow on your own time. Just trying to check in on that glute activation here. Good, keep this up. Awesome. Let's do 3 more. On your last one, hold the bottom. Bring the arms down. Take an inhale, brush the arms up. Exhale, arms come down. We're just gonna keep this going. So we're holding those legs low. Ribs are down and knit together. Exhale, lower. Let's do 2 more like that. Good, last one, bring the hands to the chest. From here, keep them there. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, come back to your lunge. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, come back to your lunge. Notice we're staying nice and low the whole time. Good. Adding on from here, I'll just demo from the diagonal. So we shift, hold, exhale, rotate towards your front knee. Inhale, back to center, exhale, lunge. So I shift forward, exhale, rotate, come back in and down. Keep this going. We want to think when we rotate, we're isolating above the belly button, so we're not letting the hips and those knees collapse, just like how we were rotating before, isolating above the belly button. Good, so again, it's all about the stability through the front foot. Exhale to twist, lifting up through those low core muscles. Awesome. Good. The next time you shift forward, hold there, just the rotation now. Exhale, twist, inhale, center, and again. Exhale, twist, inhale, center. Let's do 2 more like that. Good, last one. Hold forward, extend those arms. Get a little bit lower for 3, 2, 1. Find the lunge and stand up tall. Just so I'm not turning my back, I'm gonna turn the other way, but we're gonna do everything on the second side. So again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, stand up tall, arms down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. So start to check in how this second leg feels for you here. Weight stays in that front foot. Good, notice if the head collapses as you lift the arms up, keep them in line. Good, watching that front knee. Great work. So again, we're getting that heat in the front glute. Good, let's do 3 more. Pressing up strong through the foot. Next one, hold the bottom, bring the arms down. Take an inhale, brush up. Exhale, arms down, a little lower in the legs. Inhale, brush up. Exhale, arms down. Last one. Arms down, bring them to the chest, really stabilize through the front foot. Take an inhale, shift forward. Exhale, find the lunge. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, find the lunge. So notice as we're shifting, we don't want to feel like we're popping up. We want to just feel like we're gliding forward. Nice long back. So again, thinking about that protraction and retraction we did at the start to draw the shoulder blades back. Good. Adding on. As we shift, we hold. Exhale, rotate across the front foot. Come back in center and lunge. Shift, keep the weight in the front foot. Keep the hands in the middle of the chest so the whole torso rotates, not just those arms. Think about having weight in your big toe, your little toe, and your heel, so we stay stable rather than wobbling through that ankle and that knee. Awesome. Again, front glute, you should be feeling that heat. The next time you get forward, stay there, hold just the rotation. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. And again, exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Let's go 2 more. Good. Last one. Extend the arms out and hold. Get a little deeper for 3, 2. Find the lunge. Get a little bit lower. And then stand up tall. Good. Shake it out. Come to the edge of your mat so that your props end up at the front if you've got them. We're going to take a big inhale, reach up. Exhale, walk down out to a plank. Pause the bottom a moment, shoulders over top of wrists, and then walk yourself all the way back up. As we do this, we're trying to keep those hips nice and level. Good. Trying to wake up through the shoulders and the core a little bit more. Maybe getting a stretch through the back side of those legs. Awesome. On the next one, we will hold the bottom. Shoulders over top of wrists. And just hold. Waking up through the core muscles. Good. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Give yourself a child's pose. Roll those wrists out. Slowly come up. Today we're going to work on some push-ups. So our hands are going to be as wide as the mat, elbows slightly tucked. I will recommend a tempo, but if you end up going a bit faster or slower, as long as our form looks good, that's all that matters. So hands as wide as the mat, elbows slightly tucked. I'll bring my feet together apart or on my knees, and I'm going to try to go down 2 counts and up 2 counts. Inhale to go down, exhale to come up. If I need my knees, I'll take it there. Inhale down, exhale up. So the idea of our push-ups is that our head, our chest, and our hips all lower and lift at the same time. If you need more support, you can open your feet wider up for the knees. Again, noticing if the head collapses to pull that head back. Good work. Inhale down, exhale up. See if you can start to exhale and engage those low core muscles we felt at the start. Let's do 3 more push-ups. Exhale up. Last 2. Exhale up, last 1, and release. Give yourself a child's pose, roll those wrists out. Great work, okay. If you've got your ball, you will use it. If you don't, your hands will just be stacked on top of one another, gazes down. If I've got my ball, I'm going to place it in front, hands on top. Gaze is down, engage the core muscles. Take an inhale, press down into the ball to lift your body up. Exhale, lower back down. So I'm pressing down and in to activate through the upper back. Exhale, lower. If I'd like instead, or if I don't have my ball, I'm going to keep my hands here to start. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Noticing that it's the upper body going first, just the upper back. To think about the middle of the back, kind of the base of the shoulder blades, and higher is where we should be feeling this one. Good. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Notice if you're taking any tension in the neck and shoulders, relax them down. Good, keep the eyes on the floor. If you're somebody who would like to lift their legs as well, you're more than welcome to. Just remember the backs of those legs stay straight. So I'm lifting here, or I can start to lift with the ball. Just be mindful if you're using the ball that we're not anchoring into that low back. We want to think of a nice upper back extension. Good, 2 more. And hold the last one up. If you're here, you're gonna flutter kick the legs. If you're here, you're gonna flutter kick, or you can extend the arms out or behind you. Wherever feels comfortable, shoulder blades back. 5, 4, stay lifted through the front of the core. 2, and release. Give yourself a child's pose. All right, we are coming back up to a plank. If you have your band, you're gonna take it around your hands or your forearms just like so. And if you don't have a band, you will just opt without it. So, shoulders over top of wrists. Let's step our feet a little bit wider, find a plank. Draw the low core muscles in. You're gonna tap one hand out and in, and then switch. The challenge being that we don't want those hips to wiggle. If that feels good, you're gonna try to add the opposite toe. But notice how slow it is. I can also do this on my knees or even tap my foot out while maintaining that modified plank. So again, if you aren't using your band, you're just tapping without, there'll just be a little bit less tension through the upper half. Well done. Notice where the gaze is, so keep the head lifted. Awesome. Tapping out and tapping in. Great work. Notice if your elbows are hyperextending, just a little soft bend through those elbows is super important. Good. Noticing if one side is harder than the other here too. Nice and controlled. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Just slide that band off to the side, roll the wrists out. If you have a ball, you can use it for the next one, but if you don't, no big deal. Ball goes in between. I'm just gonna face forward so you can see me. Hands on top of the head, we're gonna press those ribs down. And if you've got the ball, you're gonna squeeze it and squeeze the glute. So full extension of the hips. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you're gonna try that rotation again to the side. And inhale back to center, switch. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale back to center. So when I exhale, I wanna try to draw the core muscles in. When I exhale, I wanna try to squeeze my glutes. And when I exhale, I also, if I've got the ball, wanna try to squeeze it. If not, no ball is fine. You can keep the legs together or apart, whatever you find comfortable. Just notice with or without the ball that we aren't bending and flexing through the hips. We're getting that full hip extension, so the back side is active. Good. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Noticing if, because we've done this now once, if the second time through now, we can feel a little bit more of a rotation. If it feels different to stand rather than kneel and do this. Good, I want you to do one more each side to be even. And then release. We're gonna slide the ball out. So that was just kind of our warm up for the next exercise. So ball can go out. You're gonna come to a tabletop position. Shoulders over top of wrists, hips in line with knees. Just move through a cat-cow on your own time, moving through that spine. So I want us to remember those multifidus muscles when we were stepping forward and back. So now we're gonna find neutral, almost as if there's little strings pulling the back up, and we're gonna hold there. I want you to slide your left leg out. Now when we do that, we wanna make sure the hip isn't sinking, so everything stays stacked on top. From there, I'm just gonna demo from the front. So left leg is out, right arm is up. We're going to imagine that rotation from the midsection. So this is the start and the end. You're going to exhale, rotate like you're gonna shake someone's hand, and then inhale, back up. You will end up having a slight bend in your supporting elbow. Exhale, twist, inhale, back up. So again, keep this going on your own time. Exhale, twist, inhale, back up. As we twist, we want to be mindful the hips aren't dipping. The whole torso below the belly button is trying to stay still. If this feels good, you're going to elevate your back leg, and it's going to stay there, stay lifted through the belly. We're going to exhale, rotate, inhale, back up. Exhale, rotate, inhale, back up. So we're feeling a lot of shoulder stability, but we're also getting that same rotation again. The trick is if your foot is up in the air, that it shouldn't be flying any higher, it has to stay in line. So if I was watching from your hips down to your toes, I shouldn't even know that anything's happening. So ask yourself again if we're just moving the arm or if we're actually twisting through that torso. Awesome. Might even notice a bit of tricep work on that standing arm because we get a little bit of a bend in it. Well done. Again, zipping up through those low core muscles. Let's go 3 more on this side. Good, last 2. The next time you come back out, you hold, and we're gonna take little pulses up, up, up. So you can pulse that arm, you can also pulse that leg, nice and controlled. Good, now hold here, place the hand back down. Curl the bottom toe under, hover and hold. If that is not for you today, you're just gonna hover in the tabletop. Good, keep holding here or here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Shift back, roll those wrists out. Take a breather. We're gonna do everything on the second side. So a little bit of shoulder work, lots of core, a little bit of glute as well. So reset, find that tabletop position, shoulders over top of wrists, hips in line, and then slide that right leg back, check in if the left hip dips, keep it in line. When you're ready, extend the arm out, exhale, twist, inhale, back up. Good. So again, exhale to twist, inhale to lift. Always remember, we come back to this starting position. We never want to feel like we're opening up really far. For those that are ready to elevate that back leg, you're more than welcome to keep it in the sky as we do it. Just notice if we're dropping or we're dropping everything to just twist the body. We want to keep everything in that nice long line. Good, so again, remembering that rotation from the midsection is where this motion is coming from. Good, keep it going. Again, maybe noticing that standing shoulder and that elbow. Pilates is also a lot about the stability and the anchoring. So we want to feel like we're stabilizing through those diagonal points because that's what's keeping us stable on the ground. Good. Let's go 3 more. Feel like you're wringing out that rag, cinching through that waistline. Awesome. After that last one, we hold up, little pulses. A little bit of upper back activation. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, plant the hand down, curl the toe under, hold, or bring that foot back down. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Good, let's roll those wrists out. Awesome job. Okay, we're gonna slide through to a seated position. If you've got a ball, you can place it in between. Sometimes it gives us nice feedback. If you don't have it, it's not the end of the world. I want you to sit up as tall as you can and tuck the hands underneath. Imagine there's a string on your chest. You're gonna take an inhale. As you exhale, engage the low core muscles, sit back and hold a few breaths, and then come back up. Step 2, you would try it with one arm out, or maybe both arms. We sit back, hold a few breaths, and come back up. If you're using the ball, you can always give it a little squeeze, so we activate those inner thighs and low core muscles together. Sit back up. So again, noticing I'm hinging rather than scooping under. Keep the gaze up, it helps us keep that chest open. If you have a band, you can opt to use it to give yourself a little bit of tension as you lift up. And if that's not for you, stick with one arm or 2, just the way you were before. Notice as you lift the arms, if anything collapses. We want to keep the chest open, arms where we can see them. If you're looking for that final step, you're going to hold the back the whole time and lift 1 or 2 arms up just like this. Good. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, lower them. Again, if you have the ball, give it a squeeze. We want to try to, again, activate those low core muscles. Good. Keep this going. And just playing around with that position for you. So again, for those that have that band, give it a little bit of tension. For those that don't, just keep those arms straight. Good, keep it up. Awesome. Again, notice as we're getting tired, our shoulders collapse, pull them back. If you need to reset, sit yourself back up at any time. Good, the next time the arms come up, hold it there. If you're ready to lift your legs, try it out, and you're just gonna hold. Good, holding for 5, holding for 4, 3, 2, and release. You can fold forward, everything can go to the side. Awesome, okay. I'm gonna slide to the side so you can see me. So for some of us, we may wish to continue with that motion again, but for those of us that want a little bit more, we're now gonna work ourselves all the way to the floor. So we're gonna extend those arms out. We're gonna start by scooping and tucking the pelvis under. So I'm gonna draw through my pelvis, all the way down, nod the chin slightly, and bring myself all the way to the floor. Extend those arms overhead. I take an inhale. As I exhale, nod the chin, press the ribs down, and then lift yourself all the way back up. Notice we start tall rather than already sinking under. So this doesn't start from the back, it actually starts from the pelvis, scooping under, nodding the chin. Noticing if you need the hands for support, that they can help at any time. Now as you come up, I want you to hold the base of the rib cage, hold a moment, and then bring yourself up. So when we hold that moment, it gets us to connect the core muscles a little bit more. Keep this going on your own time. If again, you're finding someone that you're not comfortable going all the way down, just working on that half back will help us as well. Your choice. For those that are feeling like they want a little bit more, let's, instead of scooping under through the pelvis, think about hinging back so the back stays straighter longer, like that string is still pulling us up. Really fight to go down. Good, and again, nod the chin, think about connecting these magnets in front, and then lift yourself up. Good, keep this going. Notice for yourself where that sticking point is, because some of us, we can go all the way. It's kind of like doing a push-up. All of a sudden, we lose that control. Good. Making sure that we start tall. We're not already starting backwards. We want to start in that strong position. I want you to give me 2 more and end on your back. So take it slow. Notice how the front of the core is getting some heat now. Good. When you get on the back, the last time, just hug the knees in the chest. But the last time will be the slowest time because we're gonna stay on the mat after that. Good. Again, you can hug those knees in the chest. Take a breath there. Good. So just check in how that feels when you get there. So we did the top half, we did the whole range, and now we're just gonna work on that initial lift, that ab curl. So you're gonna stay on the ground here. Feet flat, knees bent for now. Interlace the hands behind the head, elbows come out on a 45. Take an inhale. As you exhale, we nod the chin slightly and lift the ribs to hips, and then lower back down. Inhale at the bottom, exhale to lift. If you know right away you'd wish to lift your legs, feel free to take that option as well. Inhale at the bottom, exhale to lift. So just like before, we want to think about sliding the torso together rather than pulling at the neck. I like to think about pressing my nose down and in slightly, almost like I'm going to give myself a double chin, because that gives me a little bit more pressure in the front, which is what we want, less neck tension in the back. Good. So we should already be feeling a lot of heat here because we did that full range. This again is just working on that initial bottom half. Whether your feet are up or down, you're going to hold the next one. If you have a ball, you can use it. If you don't, your arm will just be out. And we're going to inhale over to the side, exhale back up, stay on that side. Feet can also be down. Inhale over, exhale back up. So notice I'm maintaining that lift the whole time. Keep this going. This should feel very similar to what we did in warm-up standing with this side reach. So we're gonna get those side core muscles connecting. Notice if your whole body wants to turn, it's very hard to make that stop, but we just want to be aware of where this motion comes from. It's that top side. Good, so again, the ball can be helpful to roll, but if you don't have it, it's just a little bonus. The next time you get out, hold, little pulse to the side. Again, if you need those feet down, make it happen. Last 5, let that other hand hold the head heavy. 3, 2, 1, come back to center. If you need to move the ball over, feel free to do so. And then we've got the second side. Inhale over, exhale, back up. Inhale over, exhale, back up. Feet can be down or up. Again, connecting through those ribs and hips. You can also just keep both hands connected if that's more comfortable. Last 2. And then next one, hold it at little pulse or with the ball for 5, 4, 3, 2, back to center, hands behind the head. Final lift. Maybe lift the legs and pulse for 8. Good. 6, 4, 3, 2, hold. Take an inhale, give yourself a little extra boost. Exhale, release the head, hug the knees and the chest. Well done. Okay, if you've got a ball, you will place it in between. If you have a band, you will place it around above the knee. If you have both, you can decide which one you would like. I'll demo with the band first, and then I'll demo with the ball after. So feet flat, knees and ankles in line. Checking that the knees are in line with the hips. They're not collapsing in. Hands at the sides. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift the hips up, and then lower back down. So if I have the band, I need a little bit of outward pressure and press against that band to keep the tension and to start to activate the side of the glute. If I have the ball, as I do this, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to give myself a little squeeze so I'm activating the inside instead. So with the band, we want to be mindful the knees aren't collapsing so we keep tension out. With the ball, we want to make sure our feet aren't too wide, they stay in line. Good, and if you'd like your hands halfway off or all the way up to the ceiling, that can happen at any time. So we're gonna start to anchor through the backs of the shoulders and those heels. Good. Again, just noticing for you how this feels. Your feet shouldn't be together completely. They should be hip distance apart, whether you've got any props or one of them, or none. Good. So again, up and down. Keep this going. Lift and lower. The next time you get to the top, no matter what you're using, you're just gonna pulse the hips up. Little pulses up. So again, the feet are hip distance apart. If you're using the ball, keep a little bit of pressure. If you're using the band, keep a little bit out. And if you're not using anything, just keep doing what you're doing. Good, now hold the top. If you've got a ball, you're gonna squeeze in and out. If you've got a band, you're gonna pulse out against the band. So depending on what we're using, with the band, you might be feeling outer glute. With the ball, you might be feeling inner thigh. If you don't have anything, you're gonna press out as if you've got a band. Good, keep pulsing and pressing. Good, you've got 5, 4, 3, 2, hold. Hands at the sides, I want you to take an inhale, lower the hips all the way down again, and then exhale, press back up. We're gonna take it 2 more times like that. Inhale down, exhale up. Last one, hold the top. Keep the pressure on the band or the pressure in the ball. You're gonna float your right heel up and down and then switch. Left heel up and down. Making sure we stay stable through the pelvis, so I always imagine there's a marble there and we don't want it to shift. And if that feels good, you're gonna try to float the full foot off while maintaining the band or the ball tension, depending on what you're using. If that feels good, you're going to extend the leg out. Extend it out like you're kicking forward, but noticing the whole body stays stable. If you've got the ball, you will especially notice that the inner thigh of the leg that's not moving is gonna get a lot of attention and a lot of focus. So again, notice if you're kicking out, if that band moves. If you don't have a band, you just keep kicking. Or you keep lifting one heel at a time. It does not have to be the full foot. We're just trying to work on a little bit of instability. And again, if you're feeling like you want a little bit of something different, the hands can come halfway off or all the way up to the ceiling as well. Start to notice if one side is harder. Start to notice if we're shifting through the body. Good. I want everyone to do one more per side and then just come back to the bridge and hold. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Any of the props you're using can go to the side. Hug those knees in the chest. Awesome, give those glutes a little breather. Okay, I want you to just lay down flat again, feet flat, knees bent. Check in that from the head all the way to the hips, everything's heavy, but you keep a little curve in your low back for neutral. And I want us to take those 2 breaths again. So fingertips come on the hip bones, bring them in and down inch, because the low core is gonna be our next main focus. So take an inhale, feels kind of like the belly expands up into the fingers, and then exhale, draw it in. So the hard part here is that we don't want to force the back flat. So take a few breaths. Exhale, engage. Last one. Exhale, engage. Now, keep this engagement, but make sure you can still breathe. Float your legs up to tabletop. Knees in line with the hips, shins parallel to the floor. You want to make sure we're not back. And just notice when you lifted here, if you arched more, if you pressed the back flat, or if we lost control. You're very slowly going to slide the legs out for 4, 3, 2, 1, back in 4, 3. If you'd like, you can take your ball in between your knees. 4, 3, 2, back in 4, 3. I'm not moving very far. If this is feeling a bit too much for your hip flexors or low back, you're going to tap one at a time instead. Good. If that feels good, maybe your arms come up to the ceiling. But ask yourself where the focus is. It's the low core. If we start to add all these other things and we lose that, let's go back one step. So if we've got the ball, we can use it. If you've got the band and you'd like to lift your arms up, you can. You're going to keep tension and reach back as the arms go back, legs go forward, come back in. If it helps to loop the hands in instead, that's also fine, as long as we're maintaining some tension on the band. Exhale, back in slow. Good, keep this going. So again, the focus is the low core without the arching and the dipping of the pelvis. We want to maintain neutral. So start to notice for yourself if we're getting tired, if we need to readjust. Great work. Keep the head and neck down, relax the shoulders. Good, even slower. So it's really 4 slow counts out and 4 slow counts back in. Especially if you're doing 2 legs, let's be mindful, we don't have to straighten them all the way to the floor. I'd rather have them reach up on a slight angle so we maintain that proper control. Good, let's do 3 more on our own time, or maybe 2 per side if you're doing singles to make sure we stay even. If you've got that band, keep the tension. Well done. So once you've done that 3 or 4 more, hug the knees in the chest. We probably need a little breather. Good, and then relax. Well done, everybody. Awesome, so just check in how that feels. We're gonna ditch all the equipment. We're not gonna spend much time in this position. It is a little bit hard to talk and do this one, but I will do my best. So we're gonna be working on a reverse crunch. Now, most of us, when we do this, we just kind of plop those hips back down. So I'll talk through a few things before I go. Hands at the sides, my feet up. It doesn't matter if they're fully straight, but we're gonna try to make a footprint on the ceiling. I want you to imagine that there's a wall from your belly button up. So your feet can't go backwards, they have to go up to the ceiling. So we're gonna place our hands down at a slight angle up, anchor them in the floor, take an inhale at the bottom, exhale, lift up the ceiling, down. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, lift up and down. When you're ready, give it a try. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, press the backs of the arms on the floor, lift. So we're getting a little bit of low core activation, but without the feet feeling like they're going towards the head. I want you to imagine the feet are going up to the ceiling. The hardest part is to not plop our hips back down. So again, trying this out. And sometimes I think it's a little bit more of that mental and mind-body connection. We might not be going very far, but we're trying to start to get that muscle activation deep in that low core. Good. No rush, but we are here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and maybe one more bonus one. Great. Hug those knees in the chest. Give yourself a little breather. Well done. Okay, you're going to turn to a side. You can see me. If you have a ball, you will place it in between the ankles. And if you don't, you're just going to keep the feet glued together. If you have a band, you could actually just put it in between so it gives you feedback. Obviously, it's not going to be like having the ball, but it's going to give us feedback so we know that our feet stay together. So, ball in between, lay all the way down. Make sure you've got some space under the bottom rib cage so we're not collapsing to the floor. Draw those low core muscles in we've been working on and squeeze the ball or just the legs together. Take an inhale at the bottom, exhale, lift the legs, and inhale, lower back down. Exhale, lift the legs. Inhale, lower back down. So right away, I can actually feel the top side of my core working. So if it helps, not on the hip bone, but the actual waistline, you can hold. Keep squeezing the ball to activate the bottom inner thigh. If you're ready for a little bit more, that arm can come out overhead. Same thing if we have this band here. It's really just to give us feedback so we know that our legs aren't separating. We want to keep everything together. If this is really bothering your bottom hip, you can take your top leg, bend it, either place it on the floor or on the ball if you're using it, extend the bottom leg and just stick with one leg instead. So ask yourself where you feel this. It should be the bottom inner thigh and the top side of the core. Let's relax and release those shoulders down. Well done. 2 more. The next time you come up, hold there, squeeze the ball or the legs together and gentle little pulses up to the sky. Very small. Again, can you connect your brain to that top side of the core and the bottom inner thigh? Keep this going. Maybe take the hand off the floor, just make it lighter. Maybe reach the arms overhead for 3, 2, just hold. Keep holding and breathing for 5. Lift a little higher, 4, big squeeze. 1 more inhale, exhale, release. If you need a child's pose, give yourself a child's pose in between. If you need to rearrange so you can see me for the second side, feel free to do so, but we'll be over onto the second side now. So again, if you have anything that you can place in between, maybe it's just a pillow or something that's near you, or the ball or the band, it just is a good reminder so that we can't cheat and drop something in between and open up the legs. So again, we're laying down, bottom waistline, long, top hand can be on the waist or the floor. Squeeze the ball, take an inhale at the bottom, exhale, lift the legs, and inhale, lower back down. So this lifting is actually coming from the bottom inner thigh, which is why we need the legs to stay together. If you want that hand overhead, you can make it happen, but releasing any tension, it's very easy to take lots of tension through the upper half. And if it bothers that hip bone too much, remember we can come forward and just focus on the bottom leg. Notice if as we lift, we press that waistline in the floor, we want to try our best to keep that space in between. Great work. So again, inhale, lift. Awesome. So ask yourself how this side compares. I have one side that I always feel like I'm gonna flop backwards, so it's really important to check in on that. We might find that one side we need to bend the leg forward to. Good, relax the shoulders. The next time you get to the top, hold, squeeze the legs or whatever you've got in between them and just pulse. And maybe just one leg at a time, that's fine too. Good, keep pulsing, lengthen those legs. Long waistline for 5, 4, 3, 2, just hold it there. Take an inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, keep holding. One last inhale. Exhale, release. Give yourself a child's pose. We have one final exercise before we release everything. So if you have a ball, you will use it. And again, if you don't, you just won't use it. That's okay. Ball goes in between. I'm going to come back to that tabletop we did earlier. Shoulders over top of wrists, hips in line with knees. Press up through the hands, curl the toes under, squeeze the ball if you've got it. Can you engage those core muscles? And then we're just gonna hold. So a few different ways we can do this. You can lower the knees and lift. I'm not actually bringing my weight down, I'm just tapping. Number 2, if you've got the ball, you could squeeze in and out with the ball. Number 3, you're gonna exhale, twist to the side, inhale, back to center switch. Exhale, twist to the side, inhale, back to center switch. And if this is really bothering your wrist, feel free to come to a forearm plank and you can ditch the ball. Forearm plank, and again, you can still twist those hips side to side. You could still bend the knees, just like we were doing in that tabletop. Good, so this is our last position. We're gonna see if we can connect to the shoulders, connect to the quads, and definitely connect to those core muscles. So for those that are twisting, let's try to think of this motion coming from the inside out. Think of that rotation through the midsection like we've done before. If you're squeezing the ball, we're gonna try to get that inner thigh and low core connection. And if you're lowering and lifting, it's a lot of shoulder, a lot of like deep core. Good, notice where that gaze is on the head. Keep the head all the way to the hips in line. Strong through the shoulders. Good, strong through the wrists. Good, we are here for 8. Good, last 7, finish it off. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. You can give yourself a child's pose, make some fists and roll those wrists out. I'm gonna take the last few minutes here to release some lingering tension in the body. So staying in that child's pose, take the hands on the upper back, gently press those elbows on the floor. It'll release through the shoulders and those triceps. Taking a few breaths here, checking in how you're feeling. Then extend those arms out, walk your hands to the right side, press a little bit heavier into that left hand. And then over and across to the other side. Again, getting that nice side body stretch. And then coming back in the center, come up to tabletop. Give yourself a moment to stretch those wrists in whatever way feels comfortable for you. Maybe it's just some circles, whatever feels right. And then as you're comfortable, we're just gonna start to move through a cat-cow in our own time. Tilting the pelvis, the head and the neck. We did a lot of front core work in that one section of class, so really important to let that pelvis tip and release. If it feels right to kind of wiggle side to side, or maybe make some circles through the spine, feel free to make that happen. Then I want you to take your right arm, we're gonna reach it up and loop it through. Reach it up, loop it through. Last one, you come down and hold. Good, just taking a breath or two here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, come back up, switch sides. Inhale, reach, exhale, loop through. So another opportunity to rotate through the body, but this time we're getting a little bit more of a stretch. Good, last one, hold it down. Take a few breaths here. And then slowly come back up. I want you to step your right leg forward, planting the hands on either side. If it's comfortable to stay here, great. If not, you want to extend that back leg, great. You can also rotate up to that front knee. Taking a breath or two here to open up through the chest, the back, and that hip. Good, and then gently come back down. Hands on the inside, we'll slide through and we'll switch sides. Just stepping the leg forward again, we can stay down, lift the back leg, or add that rotation. Good. Taking again a few breaths here. And then gently release. I'm going to come through to a seated position. Let's bring the bottoms of the feet together. Take a big inhale, exhale, fold forward. You can either stay up here or just let the body melt down. We're gonna get a little bit of a hip stretch, definitely some inner thigh stretch here. Just take a few breaths. Release any tension. And then slowly come up. We're just going to make a cross-legged position. If that's not comfortable, come up to a kneeling position. We're just gonna make circles with the body here. Good. Kind of like what we did in that cat-cow position. Then you're gonna go the other direction. Awesome, feels good for the back, especially if you've been sitting in maybe long times at a certain position. It's maybe not super ideal. I've talked to a lot of people that have not the most ideal desk setup at home, so it's really important to give that spine a break. Good, let's take that arm down, plant it, reach up and over to the side, keep both hip bones down, and back up, switch. Big reach up and over, and switch. This time we're gonna make a big circle, so reach, give yourself a nice stretch forward. Other side, back up, and reverse. Good, let's go one more each way. Awesome, last one here. Big reach up and over, nice side body stretch. And then just come back in the middle. Maybe let the head hang. Maybe go side to side, releasing the neck. Close your eyes, sitting up nice and tall. Roll the shoulders back and down a few times. Take a few breaths here. Just take in how you're feeling. I know the mat Pilates classes are not as high intensity as you might be used to, but my goal is that when you're finished this class, you're a little bit more body aware, and hopefully we're feeling a little bit lighter and longer through the body. And every movement after this, we're just a little bit more aware of where those movements are coming from. If you have any questions, let me know. You can let me know in the chat. You can message Loft directly. But other than that, you guys are free to go. Thanks so much, everyone.